Hello everyone and welcome to the February 2022 Energetic Insights. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Depika Mystery and I'm an intuitive guide, energy healer, coach and a consultant. And for over 2 years now, I've been sharing these insights on a month-by-month basis, and it's really geared up for those of you guys that are becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetical abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. So if that sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. So how was January for you? I know for some of you it was very intense and also slow and sluggish, and a sense of heaviness as things are starting to shift. February has a more of a forward momentum, a faster momentum feel to it compared to January. But there's also a different sense of intensity as well as liberation as we start to notice these tides of change. So some of that will start to feel like shockwaves moving through our body. And the elements that come out really strongly for this month is the element of fire as well as the element of water. The key thing here is the more that you're able to pay attention to your triggers of where you've been triggered, where in your body you feel triggered, or when you're having a conversation with somebody, how you feel triggered, what they say makes you feel triggered. The more you pay attention to your trigger, the easier you're going to be able to navigate these shock waves. So since there is so much fire in the air, the guides were saying this is also this energy of creation and destruction. So it's again life and death cycle that's happening very fast this month. So you might find yourself losing something yet creating something in its place, or creating something and something else just fades away into the background. So it's a great opportunity to get really clear about what it is that you want to create, and also harness this energy this month. So if you've been struggling to let go of something, it's also a great opportunity to let go and release whatever you've been holding on to that you struggled to let go of for many years. And I think for some of you guys, you know, if you've been going through something and you've been working with someone, and to release a trauma or to release something or thought pattern or narrative, this month you can actually release that. All you need to do is set that intention and allow yourself to go through it, and trust in the energy that it will guide you through that. There is also this sense of timeline shifting. For the way I was shown this is that many of us are already aware of the linear timeline. So it goes from A to B, and in between A and B there's several steps to get to B, and there's a process of a how-to process within that. And we're finding this shifting, so we're able to kind of jump moment to moment to moment rather than having this linear timeline. It becomes way more multi-dimensional. And also for this energy this month is more and more of us are going to be finding our voice. We're going to be really connecting with that truth that's really within us. So if you've been afraid to speak your truth, or if you've been hiding your truth because you're afraid what people might think or how they may judge you, you're going to find yourself really strongly connecting with your truth and letting it move through you. So there is a lot of movement this month. Right, before we move on to the first theme for February, let's take a recap and visit the themes for January. So the first theme was cosmic light frequency shift. And I mentioned in January, in February, there's going to be one of the big major cosmic light frequency shifts. And I will talk a little bit more about this and how we may experience this month and what does that actually mean. The second theme was the blame game. The third theme was higher purpose awakening, and the final theme was, I think it was, grief awareness. So again, if any of those themes resonate with you, do go back and watch your January insights. Okay, let's move on to the first theme this month, and the first theme is called rapid forward momentum. So if you have been feeling stuck and you've had this kind of dance of taking that one step forward, you've had the courage and you've been brave taking that one step forward, yet somehow you've had this sensation that something is pulling you back or holding you back, this month you're going to start to feel that forward momentum, and it's going to come in bursts or in waves of inspiration or waves of clarity. The key thing is to ride it and pay attention. So pay attention to where you might be finding that resistance. So as you start to ride the inspiration, as you start to get more clarity, you might start to see where you are resistant, which you've never known that you were resistant before. The energy of fear will come up. There will be this sense of overwhelm, and also a sense of contraction and need to hide and putting your head underneath the duvets. All of these things are brilliant. Okay, because as you start to move forward and as you get these inspirations and you get this greater clarity, you get another level of awareness where things might have been holding you back. So there may have been resistance within you already that you weren't aware of, and that has been holding you back. So the key thing here is, if you notice a resistance, dive into that. Understand why that resistance is there. What is the purpose of that resistance? The same goes with the fear, right? Again, also when we are moving forward quite fast, we will get this sense of overwhelm, and that is only natural. We all experience that because we're like, oh my goodness, I need to slam the brakes on, this is happening too fast, I don't know if I can cope with it. So there's a sense of doubt. We're not sure of ourselves. And again, all of these things are just highlighting that aspect of us that is ready to be released, right? So work with the resistance, work with the fear, work with a sense of overwhelm, and work with a sense of contraction and the need to hide. These are all parts of you and aspects of you that you haven't been able to see before, right? But you can now see clearly because they're ready to be released. And what's behind them are potentially outdated programs, outdated narratives, outdated energy. So just give yourself permission to pay attention to all of those, go into that, and then release what's causing that as well. So the way in which to harness this energy, and I feel that some of these questions will also give you more clarity. So it will give you more purpose on where to focus your intentions and attention and your energy. So journaling this at the beginning of this month will be really, really beneficial for you. So there's 5 questions that will help you to focus of where you want your energy to move, which direction you want your energy to move, because it is a rapid forward momentum. If you are focusing on, say, a fear of yours, you're going to manifest that fear much quicker, and you'll stay in that energy of fear, for example. So these questions will help you to get really crystal clear and help you to ride these waves a little bit more freely. And the key thing here is that as you start to ride these waves, is that pay attention to when you're trying to control the actual outcome, or you're trying to control the order of events, because that will just hold you back and pull you back. So that's why it may feel like this I don't know if those of you guys that drive a manual car and you're in, say, the first gear or something, and before you kind of go into neutral, you release your clutch off, you release your foot off the clutch, but it's still in gear, and the whole car just kind of shudders, and it shudders to a stop. And it will feel a little bit like that because you're moving forward, and all of a sudden you've taken your foot off the clutch, which then shuts the car down. So that's why it's going to be pretty fast and intense. So here are the 5 questions that you can use, that you can journal and harness the energies this month for this rapid forward momentum. So here they go. What are your intentions? What are your intentions? What do you want to create? What do you want to release? What do you want to change? And finally, what kind of world do you want to live in? So just take a moment to write those questions down and give yourself some time and space to really journal about what comes up through you. And pay attention of any negative thoughts that come up and any doubts. If you have a question and say, well, you can't do that, write that down as well and give yourself the permission and set the intention. I also release any doubts that come up as I go through this process as well. As I mentioned, because this is rapid forward momentum, there is a word of caution here. So if you're not being honest with yourself, that is also going to manifest itself and present itself in front of you. And if you're holding on tightly to the old version of you, or an old narrative or a belief pattern, again, you're going to find yourself stalling, very much like in that car. And there will be this sense of, so as you're holding on to the old stuff and not allowing yourself to move forward, you will feel like you are drowning. So that's therefore you will feel, it'll be a slightly different sense of overwhelm, because it will feel more like you're drowning rather than being overwhelmed. The good news is, if you allow yourself to harness this energy, going back to those questions and getting really honest with yourself, you'll be able to move through it, and it won't prevent you from moving forward. So it's really exciting. It is intense, but it's also very exciting, and you are ready for it. We are all ready for it. We have been waiting for these times for a very long time. It may not be something that makes logical sense to our mind, but it's something that we feel, and it's something that we know, and it really it wakes up. It's not even wakes up her, it makes us feel alive. I mean, that's the sense that I'm getting for February, that there is this aliveness as well for February. Okay, let's move on to the second theme, and this theme is called expansion through love. So that also aligns with this kind of aliveness feeling. And when I tuned into this energy, it was just so beautiful. And the way that I was shown this was this sense of beautiful waves and beautiful pulses of emerald green light with hints of golden white light, and golden white light with a really bright emerald light. And the way that it was moving was kind of moving as waves into our heart center, and then moving out the back of our heart center in waves, and then moving back in from the back of our heart, and then waves in front of our heart. So this constant wave sensation that's moving in and out of our heart center, and then just expanding and expanding and expanding and growing and growing and growing. So we're going to start to really notice this energy, and it's just so loving, so nurturing. And you may find yourself moments of just this sense of real sense of contentment and peace and love, and it may come when you're brushing your teeth and you have no idea where it's come from. Just really harness that. And for some of you guys, it's going to be also, you know, if you felt like you've never been supported before, what the guides want you to know is that you are supported now more than ever before. And the reason why is that your presence to bring healing to yourself and bring healing to others is very much needed right now. So you are going to be supported because your presence is needed. And the healing energy and the loving energy that emanates from you is also needed. And in some ways you know this. And that knowing is going to also awaken out as you start to expand through this energy of love. However, where you're not being kind or compassionate or loving to yourself, you will start to sense this sense of contraction happening, right? You will contract. So when you are contract, know that you are not harnessing this beautiful expansion through love energy. And you can just reset yourself and ask yourself, okay, my intention is to harness this loving energy. And you can almost visualize this beautiful emerald green light with golden white light around it, moving in and out through your heart center. And as it does that, you can use your breath to kind of clear out any resistance or any tension or tightness you have in your body or even in your mind, and just kind of loosen out the contracted feeling that you have. So you can use this light because it's something that I was shown, and I feel it's a really powerful tool this month. Also, what their guide said is that as we are moving more into this, expanding more into through the energy of love, we're going to get greater clarity on some of our shadows. The key thing here is it's very quick. It can be really quick and easy for us to shame and hide our shadows and just kind of hush them away, shoo them away in the corner. But really give yourself permission to acknowledge and see your shadows and be with them, because shadows are just aspects of yourself that's needing your love. And this is a really great month to love on your shadow side. So the other tools and tips that will help you is you can update your self-care practice or self-love practice if you have one. And if you have been struggling, say for example you have a negative narrative about something, so you have this negative narrative like I'll never find love or no one's going to love me, you can change that through this energy this month. And the tools that you can use, again, one of the most powerful tools is journaling. So you can journal what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and as you journal them, you can set your intentions to release anything that's not serving you anymore. You can also infuse a glass of water with the energy of love, and you can just hold that glass in your hands like this and send the energy of love. And you can imagine this emerald green light with golden white light around it, kind of pulsating through that glass. And as you drink that water, you imagine that light and that energy of love moving through your body, through your cellular system, through your blood system, your nervous system, flushing out your organs, flushing out your emotions, and flushing out any energy or resistance and thoughts that you no longer need to hold on to. So this is a really active, powerful tool that you can use. And it's a great way to bring yourself into the present moment by practicing the art of kindness and compassion to yourself and also to others. And also become aware of when you start to judge other people and judge yourself, and notice when you are judging. And you could also be judging when that inner critic comes out and you never notice that you actually judge yourself for you judge your critic for coming out and criticizing you. So you're going to become more aware of your judgment, and just allow yourself to go into it and ask yourself, why do I have this judgment? Where does this judgment come from? And oftentimes with judgment, we have a set of expectations behind that. More on that in one of the later themes. All right, let's move on to the third theme. The third theme is called quantum shifts. And if you remember, as I mentioned before, in the January insights, there was the first theme, which was called cosmic light frequency shifts. And I mentioned there that there's going to be a massive, massive shift this month. And this is what it is. So it's going to feel a little bit disorientating. And I feel that's going to be for most of us, because even though many of us are awakened and we are on this awakening journey, we've still got the old patterns and conditionings within us. So especially those of us that are always needing to know the how. How is this going to work? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get there? Or we want a specific outcome, or we like things to be in a particular order. So we're fixated on a certain set of order of events. Oh, for example, lack of a better example. Right, I'm going to have a career first, and after I get my career, I'm going to find someone, and after I find someone, I'm going to get married, and after I get married, then I'm going to have babies. It's to let go of those order events. It can happen in any order, right? So what these quantum shifts are going to do is kind of break those things down, our old ways of being, our old ways of thinking. So we will start to feel a little bit disorientated, because it's almost like pieces of our puzzles are being they're going to be reorganized. I was going to say redistributed, maybe that's true as well, but there's like a reorganization happening more on a cosmic and multidimensional level. So, where you're resistant to change, or where you're reluctant to shift your perspective, in those areas, those are going to start to cause that kind of disorientation. So, however, if you can drop more into the energy of trusting yourself, into the energy and embodying the energy of play, creativity, and being really present in your heart center, it's almost like you're going to be able to get this awareness of this multi-dimensional world around you. And there's going to be a shift in timeline. So what I also got was the timelines are shifting. And they're not necessarily shifting, it's that the linear time, we're becoming less attached to the linear timeline, so that we are able to see things in more of a multi-dimensional view. So instead of going from A to B, and then having 5 steps to get there, it's almost like you think of something today, and you wonder about this beautiful soup that you had, I don't know, a week ago, and all of a sudden that soup arrives because someone thought of you and they brought that within 10 minutes. So there's this shift. So you're going to be moving moments to moments to moment. So with this energy, with the quantum shift, the energy of manifestation is super, super, super powerful. And things are happening in an instance, because we're kind of dissolving that linear timeline and moving more into multi-dimensional timeline, which means that many of us are going to see multiple timelines. And the reason for that is because there's parts of us that are going to be operating in different levels of consciousness. So conscious awareness. So there may be a part of us in a lower consciousness, another one in a higher consciousness, and all of that's going to start to come together. That's what I mean. It's we are being reorganized here at the moment to be able to operate more in more of a multi-dimensional quantum way. So if you are also, there we go. For some of you guys, if you have been wanting to heal something or wanting to release something and it hasn't happened this month, the more you're able to shed and release that linear timeline to say, oh, I need to heal this. To heal this, I need to do this. I need to do this 10-step program. If you just say, there's a sense of healing and alignment available to us the more we let go of that linear timeline. And then there's going to be this greater sense of freedom in your voice. So as I said before, we're going to be able to really connect to that truth and just express it really, really freely. And as I've already mentioned, there is a real sense of fast manifestation this month. So get really clear on your intentions. So if you're not wanting something and that is being manifested, there's a part of you or desire within you that wants that. So whatever is being created or whatever comes to you in February and it's not something that you want, pay attention to that as well, because you need to go within yourself and tweak that aspect of yourself, and the energies are really supporting you in able to tweak that. You just need to give yourself permission. You don't need to know how, you just got to set the intention to say, oh, hang on, I don't want to manifest this, I actually want to manifest that. And you notice that you manifested something that you don't want, go into it. Why? What part of me wants to manifest this? What part of me needs to manifest this? And just explore it. So be curious and be playful in it, and things will start to shift quite quickly. All right, let's move on to the fourth and final theme for this month. And this one is called Judgment Awareness. Oh, this one is a little bit spicy. Whoa, so because more and more of us are going to be really connecting with our truth and expressing our truth this month, there's also going to be a rise in the energy of judgment. So, because we're going to become more and more aware of ourselves in the way in which we judge ourselves and others. So a lot of these judgments are, think about as some programs that have been programmed into us from, say, from childhood, from the experiences that we've had in childhood, some of them that has come down our ancestral line through our parents, our grandparents. Some of those judgments we have are actually self-preservations. We judge ourselves in such a way to, stop ourselves from being hurt when somebody else judges or when we think somebody else is judging us, right? There may also be judgments that are, again, acting as defense mechanism from past life wounds. So we may be, especially those of us that carry that witch wound, we might find ourselves judging those that we may perceive to think that are going to attack us. So we judge them first. Right? So it's really interesting, yet when you're judging, there's a part of you that needs your healing. So really pay attention to who you're judging, how you're judging, when you're judging, and start to explore why you are judging. Allow yourself to ask why. What are the expectations behind those judgments? What is that judgment trying to tell you? What is that what's the purpose behind that judgment? Really start to go into that. And then those of us that, also be kind and compassionate when you start to notice your judgment, because we often have a judgment. There's a need for that judgment because we need to be right, therefore something has to be wrong, or that we need to be a hero of our story, so someone needs to be a villain. So there's this kind of what's the word that I'm looking for? There's black and white type of thing, and you're missing the shades of grey behind that. And really remember, right, at the end of the day, if you're judging other people, your judgment doesn't really hurt them. Your judgment of them actually hurts you. So let me repeat that. Your judgment of other people doesn't hurt them. Your judgment of others hurt you. And it also limits your progression in life. And it causes you more pain and suffering in the long term. So really, this is a great opportunity to release those judgments that you have. And as you release those judgments, you're going to feel this sense of freedom that's coming in. And also to remember, when we have judgment, is that we also have this lack of self-acceptance. Thereby, there's a lack of love in that space. So here are some tools that you can use this month for this theme, and there are a couple of questions here. What do you judge? Who do you judge? When do you judge them? Why? And how do you benefit from holding on to that judgment? So that's a really great exercise to go through if you're really finding yourself being a little bit judgy. And then I can hear some of you go, well, what about if I'm the one being judged? What about if I'm being judged? If you're feeling the judgment coming from other people, take a moment to notice what's going on within you, because that's their judgment. But if you're taking that personally, something is being triggered within you that you need to go within and have a look at that. So that's why I said this month, this energy is very, very fiery. So if you sense other people judging you, you know, that judgment is on them. It's not on you. If you're taking that responsibility, you're kind of muddying the water, and there's something that's going on that you're being triggered by, but it's almost like you're not going into the trigger. You're focused too much on, oh, they're judging me. You know, they shouldn't really judge me because I've done nothing wrong with them. And then you're creating another story and another narrative instead of going inwards. Oh, I can sense that they have this judgment and they've judged me, but I'm really being triggered by that. Okay, where is that trigger within me? I feel that trigger in my belly. Okay, that trigger has this orange sensation and it's moving and it's really bitter. And then ask yourself, where does it come from? So you can start to do this self-exploration and start to take responsibility for your triggers. All right, that is it for this month. So thank you once again for watching. If you've enjoyed these insights, please do go ahead and share it with your loved ones, your family, your friends, your colleagues, and feel free to leave a comment behind. If you are watching this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, give us a heart. And then if you haven't already done so, please do go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll be notified each month as these insights come out. And then if you're needing extra support this month, come and join the energetic alignment session, which is the group healing journeys. Last month, oh my goodness, it was incredible. We sold out, and so I'm really looking forward to the session this month, because the group is just incredible and the energy in the group is just wonderful. And I love the way that everyone in the group are on their own journey, but they're supporting one another, and it's just something that is just incredibly beautiful to witness. And their guides show up, my guides show up, and the energy was just absolutely electrifying. So sorry, I just got a bit excited there. This month it's taking place on Sunday the 20th of February at our usual time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. UK time. And the theme this month is called Quantum Shifts. And just know that there are only 16 places. So if you do want to sign up, make sure you sign up straight away, because I'm not sure if there will be any spaces available towards the end of the session, because we sold out last month. So really, really looking forward to journeying with you guys on the 20th. And otherwise, I will see everyone in March. All right, take care and have a wonderful February. Bye for now.